Someone's asking for help in L.A. Got time to solve a mystery? Police/FBI involved. Underground something? Ventilation pipe? What the fuck, it's even visible from street view. No way, that didn't warrant local attention. What's the consensus on the ground? Looks like train tracks run under there. I would pull up the satellite ROS, but it would be too far for me to see anything. Containers are used to traffic massive amount of sex-trafficked girls. From Google Earth satellite data, it first appeared sometime between September 2022 and June 2023. So it's been there a while. If this were a place being used for human trafficking, don't you think the people who would write help would be able to escape if they had the ability to go to the surface and make these elaborate calls for help? Which will only pay off if someone combing through satellite images or maybe in a plane/helicopter sees it. Why wouldn't the traffickers just break up the message and put the materials back? Leaving something like this up could bring scrutiny on their operation, and it wouldn't take them long at all to undo the message. This is 2024, it's next to South LATC Intermodal Facility. And UPS, it's a perfect location closed off near an industrial area. I made a time lapse of the past few years on satellite view if it's useful for any announce. Reminds me of that whole ghastly Finders affair when it came out that the CIA was kidnapping children from orphanages and daycare centers and holding them in cages on a farm in just such a compound as in the op picture to be subjected to ritual abuse or sold overseas as sex slaves or both, and the FBI found out by accident while investigating another case, and just covered the whole thing up afterward. It's too soon. We don't know anything. We have satellite 4K capabilities. What the fuck do you mean too far away? Bitch, we read the warning on your Lucky Strikes through your house in the 50s. Containers. You can break a human or other creature in your power so badly that it doesn't dare to run away because, for example, it has been threatened that anyone who gets involved will be killed and that this is the victim's fault for trying to escape. Some victims also develop feelings of attachment to the people who do terrible things to them. This is called Stockholm Syndrome. This doesn't change anything I said. If someone has been broken down that badly, they're not going to go through the process of setting up this cry for help. Spoopy. But the size of those trees, metal, etc. is beyond the ability of someone to move without equipment. More on that. To operate the machines and place them in that way would mean someone who's very skilled at it. They are next to a train track, probably used to load and unload said materials used and with the machine used to place them. Law isn't unknown for having stranger art and exhibitions, so it's very real they are doing that because they can see it from Google Maps. It just wouldn't make any sense to have the same message repeated with extremely large objects, and to use words that exactly say something about illegal migrants. It doesn't make any sense, and if a helicopter flies over it would be extremely obvious to any on board and they would probably have reported it, but since it's a joke they can just adding more helps and other words. Yeah, but the point of logic is to jump to conclusions you have no evidence of. I don't have the CIA satellite codes or $4000 to give it to some website. I rather buy a ticket, go to LA and go back home. Best I can do is check the most recent high-definition image is from January 11, 2024. First photo I have is 2023-06-21 ST. This is the most recent sat pic. LOL, it's also right next to Dodgers Stadium, which is one of if not the largest professional team based on America. So a lot of people would maybe want to look up directions or see the place and can easily come across that junction. Yeah, I own the property and it's so cool to have signs all over it asking for help and talking about trafficking and the FBI/LAPD. Such classy art. Hidden in plain sight. Yeah, because California is known for not overreaching or overreacting for any perceived crime against immigrants. Could be it was set up by people who did escape, but were signaling for help for those who haven't escaped yet. As for why the signs for help haven't been torn down by the bad guys, it could be because they're not there anymore and have no reason to be back. and if the people who set it up didn't ask the local people for help, it could be because they had something to hide, themselves. Can't think of any other possibility so far. Are you saying that some deranged lefty climbed the wired fence to write these signs because Trump evil and racist? LOL. This ain't the thread for you, buddy. We need smart anons on this one. It gets deep. What's up with Chemex? OSINT bros are retarded enough. OSINT bros on /x/ are multiple orders of retarded. A lot of green containers around. Well, like I said before, the messages are made of material that would need equipment to move, and would need an operator with knowledge to be able to arrange them. It's next to a railroad, and next to the end of multiple railway lines. So they have the equipment, location, and ability to arrange the word help. More so, it's incredibly obvious by the repeated word of help in all sizes. The word trafico is Spanish, traffic. Asking for help, traffic, federals. It is next to Dodger Stadium, an easy way for helicopters to spot the messages there. Whether in season, or outside when local station report stories. Maybe they would spot the tons of debris arranged in a call for help and make a story. Maybe the police helicopters that would be flying around have noticed well before us, but nothing came of it. Just ask yourself, given the information presented, that this would be the case of trafficking when it would be abundantly clear for anyone in the air, or on Google Maps to notice. I said California immigration because it would not be an option, given the location, to ignore it. If you want to go on about Trump, go ahead. But it's good to think a bit deeper about things, instead of trying to dismiss anyone who claims the opposite. I don't see anything OP. Take your meds. People were posting on Reddit about help signs along the split between the 10 and 101, which is only a few hundred meters from the current signs. People who are involved with these things as victims run a high risk of bringing this out in the open, because it's extremely likely these evil people have stalkers all around the city with ears everywhere, and these victims would know this more than anyone. They have occultists working for them, they tend to have foresight and can maneuver shit easily. So, it's going to take serious power to figure these things out. From proper street gangs to the government itself, occultists are what give them that extra leverage over others. Did a look around the entire area. 90% is covered by car-related shops, and a car graveyard connects them all. It looks cramped, but in fact it isn't. There is enough space for a truck to fit in places, and gates cover the entire compound. Very distinct and gang symbols cover the entire compound top to bottom, every corner having a STP sign in the center of every wall. Together with phone numbers next to a painted girl and skulls all around. If I was a SWAT team and I had to guess where the main entrance is, it's this. But there is like 4 to 5 tunnels in every corner, so escaping is easy. Hilda Garcia, La Paralegal France Law Group. LA China, Melissa Margarita Calderon Ojeda, also known as La China, is a suspected Mexican drug trafficker and assassin. Kevin De Leon, former member of the California State Senate. Jose Casares, affiliated with the Harris County GOP. Casares earned an undergraduate degree in political science. His career experience includes working as a warehouse manager. Limón, Costa Rican city. Name: Sequestradores, kidnappers. Gatita Fiera, fierce kitten. Where is that image at? Put the maps link. Not really. It's violence. They use violence like it's nothing, and it helps a lot. Good people don't do that. 34.054893, -100, and 18.226020. You can see it on Spartan Forge or Google Earth Pro if you go back to August. A little north there is a window tinting business, and the first building is covered entirely by barbed wire, no windows, no holes, and it has a EO cartel flag, a raper I think. Found this up the train track. 34.084861, -100, and 18.227459. Am tracking the trail of vehicle and gang signs. This operation is huge. I think this might be an entire cartel operating here, not even joking. Track to GTO Auto Glass behind a club, it's full with expensive cars closed off and it says it's a police station right here. If you go a bit further east from the chop shop place, there's a neighborhood just past the bridge on the first left. The backyards are also full of abandoned cars. I am using the web version of Earth/Maps, and for me the fence and corner store keep changing. One of the pictures I have, it looks brand new, another the same fence is kind of worn and the paint is gone, and in the third it's just nailed up with sheet metal and covered in graffiti like the chop shop, but I haven't checked the graffiti to see if it's the same tags or anything like that, and that probably wouldn't mean anything anyway since the places are so close unless they're gang related. As far as construction for the rail yard, I found this. Didn't read into it very deep, but I did see that whatever they're doing is supposed to speed up transitioning containers from the harbor to the yard or vice versa. If these have police impound signs and they are not police impounds, the police must be involved somehow. This has to go to FBI. LAPD on the ground beside Trafico. Not in USA, so someone get ER done, before these Reddit people warn the cartel to destroy evidence. Redditors helping the traffickers keck. This is my data before the Reddit faggots ruin the entire thing. 1. STP gang sign. 2. Cartel flag. 3. Union police station on a building that doesn't exist behind a club with drug selling markings. Even if this is all somehow 100% correct and correlated, there's nothing anyone warning them could do. LMAO, all they could do is flee the country. I just don't understand. If there were victims, how could they just move everything and makes the signs? And if they were being trafficked, the signs have been up since 2023, so how could one of the traffickers not have noticed them? Illegally trafficked women in the Netherlands, for example, don't have a choice. No money to escape. No people to help you. They make them dependent on substances and on them. Maybe they go straight to the tunnel and only at night, so they don't pay attention to the trash laying around. Just a bunch of bricks and shit that don't look like nothing from ground level. Maybe they saw the signs and decided to stop using the site and left the signs there to make it look like they don't care / it's a prank / etc. Nope, the signs are extremely visible and legible from ground level. There's even signs painted around to be read from ground level. Probably not the pick with the makes it either a really elaborate prank or real. Anon that found the massive tag. Looking more into it, has anyone seen FTR or tech in the tags spotted? They're talking about this on /poll/ as well. It's gonna be pretty funny when two autists from each board bump into each other down there. This is the rail network. Mexicali is the most heavily guarded checkpoint. If they pass any of these points, they are basically free to LA. Alright, this is the final thing I did, is identify to what group and what is the most likely entry point. Tijuana is disputed territory, so most likely not. Also has the most stations. Mexicali has known drug labs and human testing cartel biolabs. Yes, it's as bad as you expect. The most news is from 4 to 5 months ago that they made Mexicali a testing grounds of drugs before being shipped to the US. Yuma also leads to LA and has the least amount of coverage, a convenient entry point with probably less security. All of this is territory of Sinaloa, or the Cartel Jalisco next generation branch of the Sinaloa. It's the feds. The Pentagon. The CIA. Stop focusing on the cartels. The cartels are low-level mobs. It's the government using UFOs to smuggle drugs into LA to fund their black projects to get even more UFOs. Stephen Greer 50 steps ahead as always. Yep, the police are often the criminals doing this stuff. Total insanity. Funny how it's straight on mug shot of the man, but it's a full body profile of the woman showing her hair and figure. These people who report this shit couldn't care less about the article and contents in them. If the normies have gotten to it, then there is nothing there beyond just simple fear-mongering. These Twitter fags didn't discover or uncover anything. They're just being overly suspicious and reading too much into it. The cartels trafficking people are way too deep in government to be stopped by some faggots review bombing a concrete plant. No human trafficking victim would have time to write such elaborate calls for help. If anything, it's probably a serial killer trying to bait stupid autists into his trap. This is what I am saying. Looks like this has been going on long enough, it's become sloppy, sanctioned by some corrupt authority, and if it's human trafficking. The names listed in the earlier post. I feel like this will be ignored or something for as long as possible. Do we have an update on where the Redditors are at and shit? I looked at the /poll/thread and it's already filled to the brim with retards spamming shit about Pizzagate not contributing anything. It could be multiple options. 1. This is a psyop or recruiting method for some government organization. 2. This is a person who can't get help explicitly but has access to this area, either they are an escapee or the owners don't monitor them. And finally, this is some losers who wrote it on the ground to start a controversy. Another option is this isn't real. Op has information that may lead to the arrest of Hillary Rodham Clinton. Ha 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 ha. Not unless she steps on the wrong toes. I'm sure there's a line of people waiting to be used as a scapegoat for shit like this. Also, as if Hillary is the only person on earth involved with these things, lol. Stop being so close-minded and realize it's both political sides involved with these things. You are shockingly literal, aren't you? Just self-aware of this website and have been here for a very long time and have seen the heavy influence politics has had in the past 10 years. Before that, no one really gave a shit. Now, it's like you're forced to choose a sports team and treat the other team like they're the reason why everything is so wrong with the world. So blind to the evil forces keeping them fighting against the wrong side. It's sad to see. They don't see who is really at fault for it. Got it, so I can just make up any retardation, and if someone rightfully calls me retarded, that's just evidence I should dig my heels in and double down. What a fucking retarded way to evaluate beliefs, fucking keck. Hide a camera somewhere near the hole, make it look like a rock or something, see what happens. Mystery solved. Multiple people are being held prisoner around that area, maybe in some hovel underground. All celebrities, singers, or adult entertainers, many of them women. Some nutso asshole on here's been weaponizing clearance to blackmail celebrities, and that's the guy responsible. I'm 20 minutes away from that yard, what should I do, lol? Don't want to get kidnapped, but my interest is piqued. I think someone already mentioned going, but I really doubt you'll find anything, post pics anyway though. Who is Elisa, 101 what? It looks like Elisa Mission. You might remember from the Fast and Furious franchise that the cartels traffic a lot of drugs through underground networks which run all across the California-Mexico border and under Los Angeles. Others have speculated that those networks have been there for centuries already, over 100 years ago. One thing that's for certain is that the LA fires happened right by the edge of a caldera, which indicates there are magma tubes running under the city, and it's possible some of them are empty, have been emptied and secured. And perhaps one or two of them got open to melt any evidence of subterranean trafficking activities. Elisa Mission. Billboard is covered up with an advertisement within a day or something, because if you look from the other side of the street, it's changed from the help sign to this. Says sequestro, kidnap, hostage, under the Bluntazo. Red help is not present February 2023, but is in July 2023. February 2023 we have the billboard with the evidence, July 2023 it's covered up. As much as I was able to get. Can we also note that the help written on the sidewalk looks like it was done with a sponge or something? Basing this off my construction exp. Someone needs to call this business, not one of you fags who can't socialize, and get an answer as to what they have seen. It's a linen store that's LGBTQ friendly. Unless that's a front, they'll have info on the big help we're being kidnapped signs in front of their business. Look at that. County Sheriff van, going to the site. I missed that completely. These vans are low-key for transporting non-violent criminals. Sign is blurred out as the van enters the area. This is getting actually a little bit sus for real now. It's the deep state. Where do you think they will get all the new child supplies after the fires? KEHR covers the help area and it's a homeless camp there. I don't know if LAPD is stupid or the FBI is investigating because there really aren't hinting. Reddit are a bunch of idiots, they go by guilty until innocent mod philosophy. Right here behind another club again having STP cover the entrances, this time less classy. This is a location where trucks exactly same model as the one we have entered the compound are cramped with STP on the entrance. A little after there is a vegetable company attached to the club, didn't find the same trucks or anything interesting about them. But another grain company has this written here. Adver. Harm. Didn't find anything else interesting except this house, but that doesn't mean anything. This is from me for now. A new cargo container trucking company down the road covered in TMC, kill cap me again, TMC worst gang and again all around. This is all from me. I don't deny the satanic / Moloch stuff. I just don't think that it is the reason for them running shit. They run shit because they kill their competition. I'll just agree to disagree. You either see it or you don't. And until you do, you won't believe it. The Los Angeles Police Department told Newsweek the property belongs to the Union Pacific Railroad. A spokesperson for the Union Pacific Police Department told Newsweek, about a year ago, Union Pacific responded and discovered the individual who was in the process of making the repeated messages. After an investigation, he was removed from the property without incident, and the issue was resolved. After thinking about this for a day, here is what I think happened and what all this means. Be a human trafficker. Will smuggle anybody into the USA for the right price. Method is shipping containers. One container had regular beaner illegals, but also had a few special guests. Hardcore Muslim terrorists. Beaners freak out. They know terrorism is bad. Cannot go to media because illegal. Know about Google Earth / Street View. Make giant words trying to get attention. We are here. Is someone in the area gonna be a fucking man and go put some trail cams up? Something. Fucking US citizens supposed to be the elites and nobody is down there with their handguns and shit. Nothing to see here. Phase retards were on scene, more text and interesting stuff. I'm surprised / poll / doesn't have a thread, but I'm banned from there anyway until a couple days, so I guess it is good that it is on here. I checked the pizzerias for odd businesses. The oddest one seems to be Purgatory Pizzeria, but nothing too out of the ordinary like last time with Comet Ping Pong.
To the town of ours, we rode a stray to one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't.
Mosey on down to the Atomic Shaman Trading Post. We have t-shirts, decals, refrigerator magnets and other swag for sale. What better way to show your support for the show? Our merch can only be found on t.pub/lit/Atomic Shaman Trading Post.
Are you a targeted individual? Have you had a paranormal encounter, or are the victim of an unregulated government experiment and would like to share your story with us? Would you like to send us some fan mail or a hate-filled rant? Do you have an idea for a future episode or wish to send a complaint to HR? Email us at atomicshaman@protonmail.com. Like, share, subscribe and be sure to check the notification bell. Follow the Atomic Shaman on Twitter at Motel and RV Park. Listen to Paranormal Green Text Stories on Atomic Shaman TTS on YouTube. Catch the live streams of Atomic Shaman Sweat Lodge only on Rumble.